all four of you roll a d20 for me, please. This is not to restrict information, just to tell you who sees it first.
Put a D in front of that 20.
Rachel, roll a d20.
That's the best way.
I just figured out a great hack for this website where things are moving fast.
Awesome. Yeah, it's Strej.
Yes, of course it is Strej, yes.
Strej, even from the rear, where you and Babs have your heads together talking wizardly things, and inquiring as to whether or not Edwina will try to kill you. And
yeah, mostly about that.
You see, before anyone else does, that in the distance, all around the imposing entrance to Frogomance, which, by the way, looks like two huge eyes and then like a big frowning frog mouth that's gaping open, just descending into the waters of the swamp. Just in front of the entrance, you see a rather large party of people. 6 knights, one of whom is sitting on a large war horse, attended by no less than 8 men-at-arms or squires. With another 7 horses tethered off to one side. Each of these men is wearing a blackened cloak with a single bright orange eye emblazoned across the back. You all recognize this symbol as soon as you see these individuals ahead of you. This is the Eye of the Overlord. Edwina pulls up short. Oh, that's not good.
Nope, that's not good. You're right, Edwina. That's not good at all.
We quickly scramble. My characters quickly scramble to the side of the path, just in case they want to walk past us without stopping and talking to us.
Yeah, I tried to hide.
Cool, yeah, all of you jump off the path. Jägermeister is standing there in the middle of the path, slowly leaning his head down, stumbling to the side a little bit, and then nipping a flower from the surface of the...
Jägermeister, get back here. I imagine he backs into the forest and then pretends his horns are a bush.
I love it.
We try to hide the big, huge white leech body.
Yes.
Put that to the side too. Yeah, you're a rock. It blends.
Now, you all saw this with quite some distance, and in truth, these individuals up ahead, there's 12 of them, 13, 14
Lordy.
of them. They all seem to be discussing something, talking together. None of them were particularly sharp-eyed, looking in your direction. They don't seem to be heading your way, and so it seems at the moment they're not super aware of you.
So do we have any idea of who they could be? Because I know we were looking for a wizard lady who goes by the name I'm going back in my notes. Augusta Rebay.
Yes, Augusta Rebay. And your ultimate mission that you were sent on by who was it? It was my patron. It was what's the name of your patron again? Anwar of the Whispering Cowl.
No, Petrov. The prophet of Petrov. Yes. Yeah, the prophet of Teotihuacan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Your ultimate mission was to recover the Eldritch Scroll of Zokar Zan, which is said to be in possession of Augusta Rebay.
Exactly. Yes.
And unfortunately, which the Overlord also is seeking.
Exactly. And the Knights of the Overlord, I think we're also looking for Strej.
There has perhaps been some reason to search for a Strej Dudet.
Yeah, I think it's because we were falsely accused of having done something on our previous mission, I think.
So you all had visited the keep on the hill, in contravention of Justikar Snish's orders.
Exactly.
And you know, there's probably some like theft of an important ring thrown in there, theft of a sword from one of the Chunder brothers.
I don't remember that.
There was an event where you sang terribly in the middle of a tavern and proclaimed who you were to all the world.
Yep, and what we did. Yep.
What a gift.
It was a really good song, though. Everybody was into it. I'd like that to be in the record as well.
And yes, you did learn that there's like a large gold bounty on your head.
Yeah, and I did attach like cardboard piece to the back of another frog that was a noble and tag them as Stretch.
D'Artagnan's original owner that we took.
Yeah,
they deserved it.
That guy has the name on him, so it's probably him. Let's be honest. Yeah, I think it was him.
Now, speaking of that guy, Edwina says, "Oh no! Oh, they'll find that poor noble that we've got captured in there. Oh, this can't fly. He was going to tell us where to find the great white tadpole. Oh well, screw him."
You imprisoned someone in there?
Oh, imprisoned is such a harsh word. Invited to stay.
Invited to
Okay,
leave?
well.
Did not invite to leave. He's seen too much.
Do we think that the 6 knights are with the wizard? Or does it look like it's just the knights?
So what you know of Augusta Rebay is that she is a wizard of Mordland, the country that you are now within, the Frog country. Whereas the agents of the Overlord serve the Overlord of the City Great, which is the country of Lothpertinence that you came from. So while there's nothing that visibly indicates to you that these knights are working with Augusta Rebay, you know that the Overlord is searching for the Eldritch Scroll of Zokarzan as well, and you know that the knights serve one kingdom and Augusta Rebay serves another. So like, all of your assumptions point to they're not here with her, but they're here for her.
We also could assume that Strej would be in danger if identified.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Strej, you should hide inside the corpse of the Great White Leech. No one's gonna look in there.
I start removing my silk clothes that I like to wear so much.
You took that suggestion very easily.
Well, I'm not going necessarily. I'm just going to remove my stretch clothes that everyone knows me for, the ones I sing and dance in. So
it seems like you just took the suggestion.
I'm going to change into my ugly peasant clothes. And then I'll just stand next to the leech and like start poking it, like feeling like how does it feel when you touch it?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel comforting to me. Because I'm pretty sure I'm down with like slimy, froggy, swampy things.
So we've sort of established that the demon of Babugbu Bills would be pleased at you bringing the corpse of this creature to it, because this creature like preys on amphibians and perhaps even frogs. So I think it would not feel comforting to you. It would feel kind of the way it feels for like a human to touch like a shark, or something like that.
Get into a shark.
Well, yeah, it's like you're touching the body of a shark, deciding whether or not you want to like squirm your way inside, right?
Terrifying.
Sounds horrible. Don't we have another corpse I could like slide in? Something more friendly, perhaps.
Can we?
What if you lay down on Jägermeister and we cover you with moss, and then you just look like Jägermeister just look a little more thick?
I'm okay with that. Yep. That's really good. I immediately get onto Jägermeister and I'm like holding the horse for dear life.
I start picking up like very muddy moss and just splatting it all over for Oj.
I actually find that comforting. This is extremely comforting.
Yes, it's like just a gentle bath.
I mean, I still think that getting inside the corpse would have been cooler, but whatever.
So it's like dusk out, so the light is dimming, and in the dimming twilight of the swamps, after all of you have spent a little bit of time applying splats of mud onto Froge on the back of Jägermeister, it just looks like you've got a very muddy moss elk following you with like a tumorous back.
Love it.
One of those prion deer.
So, do we have a way to like eavesdrop?
I think that's up to y'all.
Someone could like creep over there and listen.
Or like, what about our map? Like, are we close to our destination? Because I think we have a more advanced map than just like get to Frogomans.
I mean, the only maps that you have are directions from the House of Dudet to Frogomans, and this is Frogomans. Like, looking at it for 2 seconds makes it clear to you that this is Frogomans. And also, as she walks up and like looks through the scraggly trees across the swamp, Edwina Mubb says, "Wow, this is Frogomans."
I mean, locals call it Frogomans, but whatever.
Yeah. Edwina, do you know if there's another entrance besides that frogmouth?
Oh, well, now that you mention it, there is, but it would take us down into the catacombs below the school, and, well, we toss all of our refuse down there, and, well, that is where we were planning on summoning the Froghemoth, and...
That's perfect. Shortcut.
Probably better than going through 6 knights and 14 henchmen.
She shrugs and says,
6
I'm having this whole
one Froghemoth on the other. Well, maybe she hasn't executed the ritual yet.
I have this whole discussion like from like the moss elk's back, and I'm like, you can see like the moss like going like.
Yeah.
All right.
She says, if we sneak around to the right, then we can slip into the caverns beneath Frogomans. Nobody's been down there in quite some time, except for the chamber and the summoning chamber. But we can probably find our way from down there up into the school itself, the school proper. We can find our way to Augusta.
Perfect. Onwards. Moo.
Just before we decide on this, quick side question. We're trying to get this Eldritch Scroll of Zorthzan for our patrons who work for the Overlord. Right?
Questionable.
Wouldn't our patrons just give it to... Couldn't we just skip a whole step and point these people in the direction of the scroll? Or are patrons working against the Overlord without the Overlord knowing? Is there like a new meta happening above us that we're not quite aware of?
Is this Neil who wants an answer, or is this Neil's
D.
character speculating?
This is D speculating.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Fiona burps in response.
Babs is like, that makes sense. Do you think that throwing in with the Overlord might be more profitable than
By the way,
for our patron?
if you believe in my character as a patron, Petrov, it would have been made really clear that they're like very intense conspiracy theorists and that they don't trust the Overlord at all.
Okay. The Overlord isn't to be trusted.
Well, I don't know.
Well, I
about
mean,
that.
not according to Petrov, but the other patrons might feel otherwise, and the pawns could feel otherwise too.
My patron represents the active arm of the law. Her parents are in charge of the jails, and of course, how do you fill jails if not arresting people who can't pay very reasonable funds to live in the city?
Okay, so we should just take it for ourselves so we can get paid, so we can pay the taxes so we don't end up in jail rather than trying to... everyone needs a middleman for the situation. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, at the expense of others is the family way.
Okay.
Scribbles is writing all of this down.
Just wanted to check our bases, make sure there wasn't a third option that wasn't apparent.
I mean, it is a pretty smart third option, says Beskri. But like nobody ever listens to her, so I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, well, I hear no objections, and let's go with our original plan.
I kind of like the other plan. So on we go with the original plan, says Trish.
What's the original plan?
We do what Edwina said.
Sneaking in around the side.
Yeah.
There is a third plan, Agnes says.
Everybody turns back.
We could play the guards like our patrons play us, and act like we're on the same side, bring them in, send them ahead of us, let them die, and then reap the rewards.
Do we have guard outfits?
Oh, I thought we would just convince them, like we were all on the same side and they were going to get the scroll and do the thing. No, okay.
Yeah, she
Agnes returns to her notes.
She didn't mean play as in like we act like the guards. She meant we play as in we trick the guards. Like we're like, yo, we're friends and
Babs.
We're all on the same team. And then we're like, yo, do you want to go in there? We want to go in there. Whoops. Oh no, you accidentally were our meat shield. Oh, so sorry. I guess you're dead.
There's someone constantly inebriated, Babs. You are quite wise and an attentive listener. Thank you.
Thanks.
What she said.
But, like, if they can't deal with it, even if they act as our meat shields, do you think we can?
That's a really good point.
No, that would give us ample time to leave. Yes, we're learning at their expense.
Maybe they can go in and we can, like, use it as a distraction to steal the things while the noble knights ensue in combat?
I like that. Okay, so we go in, we wait for them to go in, and for them to get in battle, and then we steal the stuff.
What if they win really quickly and easily and kill Augusta?
Oh, then we kill them.
Do we though?
Maybe we should just race them there. I don't know. I'm beginning to have a lot of
maybe we
doubt
should
in
race
our
them
plans.
there. You're right.
Okay,
You're right.
yeah. Okay. Never mind this whole side quest. Let's go.
Edwina says, "This way. I'll lead you around to the secret entrance to the caverns beneath Frogomans."
Everybody be stealthy.
And then she says, "Quick, all of you stack up behind the moss elk and the horse."
Why you gotta put them in front?
No, I mean, put the horse and the moss elk between you and the knights.
Why?
So that if they look in this direction, they only see a horse and a moss elk, and
I
not
thought you
12
meant,
people trying to sneak away from them.
Should we dress up the horse as another moss elk? Because I feel like that's more believable.
That is a very smart idea. I knew you had good blood that we would want to drain and inject into Serum. He's probably back by now, don't you think?
No, probably.
Know.
Anyway, and I just start grabbing moss and putting it on D'Artagnan.
Senga, who is sitting on D'Artagnan, is like,
I take some sticks that kind of look like antlers and I put it in D'Artagnan's bridle, and then I hang some moss from that.
Yes. Fantastic.
Mustanian.
With like 15 minutes of work, the sun sinks lower, the sky goes from red to purple. And by the end of it, you have like from 50 feet away, a convincing facsimile of a moss elk that just like looks really weirdly proportioned. So you've got like one moss elk with like a tumorous back, and the second moss elk that's just really weirdly proportioned. These two have found love. They've met each other. They are going to go off and spend the rest of their lives together. It's going to
Makes a lot of sense.
They're gonna make lumpy moss elk babies.
Edwina slowly leads the 12 of you around the side of Frogomans, a large humped building with like two wings in the swamp. And leads you around to like there's sort of like a bushy outgrowth on one side, and she steps forwards and uses her walking stick to pull aside the bushes, and you can see that there's actually like a crevasse that runs underneath the building, and it's sort of like a slippery slip and slide type effect of like, you know, wet stone, like cavern stone rather than worked stone. And she gestures and she says, "After you." And that's where we should take our second break.
Ooh.
See you guys on the other side.